Assalamualaikum and hi everyone! Welcome back to podcast with Leah! I'm Shahira, and for today's video, I will be doing something a little bit different. This is actually my individual reflective assignment for my Malaysian Social History class under Miss Najihah. But I'm presenting to you in a more chill podcast style. Today's episode is a little bit more personal than usual. Instead of only learning history from textbook, I wanted to understand it through someone close to me, my own family. So today, I'll be interviewing and sharing my uncle's story and how his life reflects the theme of migration and mobility in Malaysia. Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Muhammad Aidil Hafizi bin Salani and I'm originally from Kuching, Sarawak.
So, you're from Kuching. Have you always lived there before?
Yes, I live in Kuching most of my life before moving for work.
Now, next question. Can you share a bit about your work experience over the year?
I've done various of jobs. After SPM, I worked as a contract staff for BRIM at Bank Simpanan Nasional for about 4 months. Then I worked as an Umrah executive at Andalusia Travel and Tours. After that, I became an administrative assistant at JPN Kuching from 2017 to 2019. Then I worked as assistant executive operation at Arahnu Yapim from 2019 to 2020. Currently, since 2023, I work as financial administrative assistant at Jabatan Immigration Sarawak in Bintulu.
I see. So what about your education experience then?
I took STPM at SMP Green Road in Kuching, which is only about 5 minutes from home. So my education journey was not very challenging in terms of distance.
On to the next question. Have you ever experienced moving to another place for work?
In 2023, I received an offer work in Bintulu. Actually, I was hesitant because I have never worked far from my family before. Moving from Kuching to Bintulu was a big transition for me. I've traveled before, but living and working far from home is very different.
That must have been really hard, especially moving away from family for the first time. Alright, last but not least, what is one major life experience that really shaped you?
So my migration to Bintulu was challenging because I had to adapt to a new environment, including my new workplace and a living situation. It was also difficult to find a place to rent and the cost of living there is quite expensive. Most importantly, I had to learn to live independently without my family nearby.
Yeah, I can imagine that. From being close to your family your whole life to suddenly being on your own, that's a big change. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and your time here. I really appreciate it. Listening to his story, it made me realize something. What sounds like a simple decision, moving forward, is actually a huge life change. It's not just about the location, it's about living comfort, facing uncertainty, and starting over. My uncle's experience reflects a larger pattern in Malaysian social history, which is internal migration and urbanisation. Internal migration refers to the movement of people within a country, such as from one city to another, in this case, from Kuching to Bintulu. This movement often happens because of job opportunities, which is exactly what had happened to my uncle. But what makes it meaningful to me is how real it feels. When we learn about migration in class, it often sounds like statistics or general trends, but through his story, I can actually see what migration looks in real life. Moving from Kuching to Bintulu wasn't just a geographical shift, it was a transition into a completely different phase of life. This also connects to the concept of mobility, where individuals move not only physically but also socially and economically to improve their lives. In Malaysia, especially in developing areas like Bintulu, economic growth attracts workers from other regions. So my uncle's experience represents a broader pattern of how Malaysians move and adapt for better opportunities. This interview really changed the way I see history. Before this, I thought history was more about big events, important leaders, or national developments. But now, I realize history also lives in quiet sacrifices, in personal struggles, and in everyday decisions like choosing to leave home. What my uncle went through, adapting to a new place, dealing with loneliness, managing finances, these are experiences that many Malaysians go through, but they are rarely recorded in official history. This is because official history usually focuses on major political events rather than everyday life experiences of ordinary people. However, these personal stories are important because they show the real impact of historical developments on individuals and families. So to me, my uncle's journey is not just a personal story, it's a reflection of Malaysian social reality. So yeah, history isn't always found in books. Sometimes it's sitting right in front of us, in the stories of our family members carry. That's all for today's episode of Podcast with Leah.